What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Music Maniacs with Side After Dark. We are Side After Dark. Yeah. I'm Dan Berg.
I'm Sifa Graffiti.
And we're joined today by, I'm going to say, New York City's premier reggae rock band,
Woohoo!
Reggaelar People. All right, so everybody give a warm welcome. So I think probably a good move would be for you guys to introduce yourself, what you do in the band, and maybe like your general life philosophies.
Okay, yeah. Something light.
Something like that, you know, nothing too deep.
Shit, I gotta go first. Okay.
Yeah.
Vinny Dragonetti. I play mostly keyboard for the band. My life philosophy is I don't know, have a good time. You know, enjoy yourself. Be a good dude. There you go. That's the best I can come up with on the spot.
It's pretty good.
I didn't want to go first, but we're past it now. We're past it.
We're all gonna take his life mantra.
Yeah.
That's nice, man. That's nice.
Thanks, dude.
Brandon Grata. I am the one of the singers and the guitar player for Reggaelar People. And my mantra, one thing I always kind of bring up is from Steal My Sunshine by Len. And it's that line that says, of course you can't become if you only say what you would have done. And so I missed a million miles of fun. And it's like, yeah, you just need to just put your best foot forward and really do it, because you can miss out on a lot if you don't.
Damn.
I learned most of my life lessons from Steal My Shine.
From Len.
From
You gotta give a shout out to Len.
Yeah.
I am Justin Grata, brothers. I play the bass and I sing as well, do some background vocals. My mantra right now, would probably be just breathe, stay present. God, so much of the worst stuff is up here, so just try to be out about.
I'm Garrett Grube. I play drums. My life mantra, I don't know. Don't think about it too hard. Smile a lot.
Honestly,
That's mantra.
That plays.
So this is very exciting because we, on May 6th, are going to be playing the Triad Theater all together, Side After Dark and Reggaelar People. The tickets are going to go fast and they will sell out, so definitely buy your tickets now if you're watching this.
Now.
For sure.
I also want to say that I was totally joking about the Life of Osley thing.
Well, now you're not.
Yeah.
So, but it's good to know. It's good to know.
Yeah. Still something. Yeah.
But yeah, we've been talking about doing this for a while, so it's cool that we're finally all doing it. We're all here. We're all hanging out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very
Good to be
cool.
here.
And
You know what I mean?
We kind of came up in the same sort of time, you know?
Yeah.
It's nice to be here.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
We're definitely like kind of from the same class. But let us know how you guys started out, and then down the line, I guess we'll let everybody know how we all started out.
Yeah.
Like together, right?
That sounds good to me.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Reggaelar People started really, I like to say that it started as more of a concept between me and Brandon. We both played instruments. I was playing like the acoustic guitar in high school, trying to learn like some Jack Johnson stuff. And then I learned what a bar chord was, and then I learned really quickly that I didn't want to play guitar. And my friend gifted me a bass. And so I started playing the bass. And then he got into high school, and you can take it over from here.
Yeah, in high school, I started to, I really wanted to be in a band. I didn't do anything at the time, though, so I was like, I think I could sing, and I joined a band, and I sang. It was not good. I was like the lead singer, but I wasn't as good as the guy who played guitar and sang. It was a fun situation.
Primarily a Jonas Brothers cover band.
Yeah, it was we've come
Not a joke.
quite a way. Yeah, and from there, you know, I wanted to break out into my own a little more, and so I picked up a guitar after my brother was playing a lot of Guitar Hero, and he was like, some people say it's easier than the game, and so I was like, let me figure this out. Let me see if it is.
Yeah. It could
In some
I
ways,
agree. Do you agree now?
In some ways, yes.
Yes.
In some ways,
Yes.
yes, it absolutely is.
By the way-
Fire and Flames is still, I think, Guitar Hero.
I just remembered I still have your acoustic guitar from
Oh,
like 2
yeah.
years ago.
Honestly, I'm pretty into the bass right now. It's cool.
I'll give you an acoustic bass to equal it out.
Oh,
there you
yeah.
go.
Dude, give me
Think
anything.
about that.
I'll take anything.
Just give me all the stuff.
I'm on a podcast.
We're even.
But yeah, basically, I started listening to like reggae rock music in college. You know, I fell in love with Sublime in high school, and then it kind of just branches out from there. that was around the time Sublime got like a new lead singer. So that was popping off. The Dirty Heads were singing with them. And so I just discovered this whole genre that was unbeknownst to me that made me feel really good and like summer, like any time of the year.
Yeah.
For those of us with seasonal depression, it's really important to pretend it's summer sometimes.
Yeah.
And then I took Brandon to some concerts, my other brother some concerts, and I didn't know that he would take to the music as much as he did, but that's pretty much how Regular People got started.
Yeah, it became my main, even now, you know, it's like the main thing I listen to and love all the time. And like I picked up the guitar on and off a lot and put it down for quite some time, but picking it up again as consistently has been because of this whole like genre and finding this music.
Yeah.
Like, anytime I think about what I'm creating, it always just comes out like that because I just, you know, I mean, it's been my inspiration now.
Yeah. And then I want to talk to you guys too,
Yeah.
because obviously, so the four of us knew each other way longer because we all met at Inspired Word NYC. Shout out to Mike Geffner.
Yeah.
So we all met years ago, like before the pandemic, like all this stuff. And you guys are newer as like the full members of the band. So I want to hear like your stories because I don't really know you guys nearly as well.
It's true. Yeah. So I actually, so real quick, I went to a lot of those Inspired Word shows wherever Justin was on. So there's a good chance that I've seen you guys like a lot. I had no idea. So it's kind of fun that we're actually doing this now. You know what I mean? I was just trying to support Justin and poetry. And then when they started playing some live shows, like do it. So I was there a few times. So I would say if they had like a frequent flyers in the Inspired Word, I would have been in it.
Yeah.
You gotta get
I was
you a
there for a
punch
while.
card.
You got your miles.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
got your
I didn't get my free sub, but you know, I got something. So me and Justin actually we went to the same college. So we met a while ago now, you know, and we wound up living in the same building. We didn't run into each other for like a whole year.
Good story.
And then the next year, we can worry about it later. But yeah, the second year, my sophomore year, we actually met. And so we started hanging out. We kind of clicked like right off the bat. You know, we were both just like, we kind of just like liked each other. We were playing a board game and he was the only other person that knew any trivia. Like it was me and him on a team, and he knew it, and
Everybody
I
else
knew
was
it.
dragging.
Everyone else was doing awful, but Justin
At
was
least
killing
one
it.
person here.
Yeah, like damn. And then we just hung out more, and then that's like kind of how it started. So met Brandon obviously through Justin. I knew early on that they were playing music. I started playing when I was like super young, like 10 years old in middle school, whatever, playing like low brass stuff. So we'd always like toy around with some things, and then I would say I actually got more involved with the band because I started teaching myself piano like 4 years ago, 3.5 years ago or so, you know? And it was almost like a pandemic thing. Like I had one and I didn't want to I wasn't like committing to it hard. And then I started like committing to it hard. And then Justin was basically like, you know, once you can play, like come play. And then kind of just went through like a mini audition where we just hung out, played music, and it just went really great.
Yeah, and went to karaoke after we got blasted.
Yeah, shout out Karaoke Boho.
Shout out to
Yeah,
Karaoke
best
Boho.
bar in the city.
Gets a show.
They're at karaoke like, you're in.
Yeah.
You're the band.
That was pretty much it.
That's pretty much what we did.
I know, it's funny, but that's basically what
I went to the
happened.
bathroom and I was like, Garrett, I
yeah.
don't want to get ahead of myself, but it's going really well, right? Yeah. And he was like, yeah, man, I'm ready to. And I was like, Brandon, you ready to get him in? I'll tell him right now.
Yeah.
And so we did, yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
So that was sweet, and it's been just great ever since. It's been playing nonstop. So that's my origin story.
The origin story.
Justin and I had the same day job for a while, and he was like one of the first people I met there. And I was like, this guy seems really nice. And like, I was kind of like getting musician vibes, just sniffing it out. And I think this is a story I made up in my head. I'm not sure if it's true, but he gave me my laptop on my first day.
That sounds true.
And then I opened it and my like avatar was a record. And I was like, oh, like this guy must have looked me up and knew I was a musician and like set that. That part might be made up. It was definitely a
It
record.
could be a
I don't
record.
know who did it.
I didn't do shit.
Apple might have done it.
Just say it was you. Just say it was you.
Yeah. So,
it was him the whole time. Yeah.
So a little bit later, I think we jammed once or twice, and then they were playing with another drummer at the time.
Yeah.
And they asked me to fill in for a show, and I was like, yeah, of course. It was like 3 songs. It was like reggae, which I never played really.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, this will be like a one-off thing. And then like fast forward 2 years later, and it's like
If
part of my life.
you're not used to playing like reggae drums, it's different. It's very different. It's a lot of like cymbal work. And I remember like early on, I was like, let's just, you know, I saw you locking into the groove, and then we played a show and we thought that they didn't send half of our drum kit. It was in a part of the bag we didn't access. So our first show was played with half of a drum kit that we had.
No
We had
hi-hats, I think.
Yeah.
No hi-hat.
Which for
Part of the
reggae is,
video,
perfect.
like
Wow.
to use somebody, and all you hear is just doom, doom, doom. You gotta make up for it somehow.
So I subbed that for the rim of the snare drum, and then something else was missing too.
We made it
but
work. We made
yeah,
it work.
you know.
Show must go on.
What do you mean they didn't send it? Who?
No, they did.
Who is fired?
Me.
This isn't us error, but we rented it. We rehearsed at
And didn't
Funkadelic
check it.
sometimes,
Okay.
and so that we paid like $200 for a kit on a gig we were making $0 for.
Yeah.
You know,
Perfect.
Sounds about right.
That's good.
At that point, it's just
Good
like
cool.
book
Yeah.
a
It's an
show
investment.
and book a show and make it happen.
We
got
didn't
to a
check
point
it
where that's what
until
we were doing.
right before stage time either. So we're going up and pulling everything out, and he's like, "Dude, there's stuff missing." And I look at the bag too. I'm like, "Fuck, there's stuff." And so we just did the show, and the next day we texted them, and they were like, "Everything's here. What do you mean?" And we dropped it off, and he was like, "Yeah, they unzipped it, and it was all there."
Yeah.
We just
It was like a golf caddy, whatever those things are called, you know, and there's just a pocket on the side. Everything else was in the top.
Yeah.
The guy's like, oh.
But he still killed it. So we were like, you know
Yeah,
what?
bro.
Imagine how this guy does with a full set. So
And that was like a month or two before the pandemic.
Well, I'm curious, how long have you been playing drums? Because just by vibe that I get from you, I feel like you've been playing drums since you were like a baby, dude.
Mhm.
Like I feel like you had like the sticks when you were like born, bro.
Same smile on his face.
Yeah, right? You've been playing a long time, right?
My whole life.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew it. You just have that vibe. When I see you drumming, I'm like, this dude
Thank
lives the drums.
Yeah. It's my favorite thing.
You can tell, dude. And I say this to you guys every time that I see you. Like, it's so fun to see you guys because you guys are clearly having fun the whole time. And then it just makes everybody else have more fun. Like, and that really is what it comes down to.
Oh yeah.
And we talk about that like all the time.
Yeah. So it was good that Vinny said have a good time first, and
Yeah.
then and that's exactly what we get when we just went to one of their shows, guys, weeks ago. We just went to one of their shows, and they took everything and threw it on the stage, and they tore the house down, and that was like the most awesome show. Like it was a continuous good night.
Thank you.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was a good time.
We're having a blast.
We-
up there. We
yeah, we
really
are.
are. Like I can't stress, it's the most fun thing to do. Right? You guys
Yeah.
get it. Like
Yeah.
you're up, right? You're up there. You're having a blast.
Yeah.
You're with like your closest people. You're just doing your shit, and there's nothing better.
Mhm.
Absolutely nothing better.
For sure.
Yeah, and that was kind of really important. You know, me and Brandon, when we had started this thing, like you add. I mean, I'm sure you were probably dealing with this similar thing, right? You're gonna add members, add stuff to your sound. You don't want to take anything away by adding a person. You know, you don't want to change the vibe. You don't want to direct things away from what you have that's working.
Yeah.
And so, more than the music stuff, like our personalities are just really compatible. Like we just have a really good time hanging out together. We could be doing nothing.
Yeah.
You could be doing a podcast.
We could be doing a
could.
podcast. I'm having a blast
Who
right now.
knows?
Garrett's still smiling.
That's awesome. I'm just so happy for you guys. Just like seeing the growth from when we first saw you guys to now, it's like it's become like a real thing. It's like
Yeah.
now we go to the shows and they're like packed. And I'm like, yo, these guys are really doing it.
Mhm.
You know what I
It's a
mean?
machine now.
Yeah.
It's
Saturday show,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
That pandemic was a growing period, man. That was a growing period of being scared to play on stage to crossing that hurdle to like, oh my God, now it's fun now. Because like I did what I should have been doing the whole time. So like I come on the stage and rightfully so, I've played this song a lot already because I should have, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it switches from being very fun instead of like waking up that day like, oh fuck, I'm worried, I can't mess this up. And it's like, well, did you play it enough? You shouldn't then, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's all what it comes down to. Because if you've done it enough, then by the time you get up there, you don't even really have to think about it. Ideally, it just happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's time.
Sure,
1, 2, 3,
sure.
4, let's go. And then next thing you know, the song's done. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
was that the show already? The show's over.
It's
You know?
it's super meditative.
Yeah.
Like you zone out and when you zone out on what you're playing, you're able to like, oh, I'm gonna walk over and hit Vinny's keyboard, you know, like in the middle of the song. You know what I mean? Like because I'm not thinking about what I'm playing anymore. I'm thinking about messing him up.
Yeah. That's when it gets great though. That's when you're super comfortable and it helps playing with them because you know these guys, like we said, we hang out, we see each other all the time. Like I'm comfortable around them, you know. So it's much easier to be whatever I want to be on stage when I'm with people that I feel comfortable doing that with, you know.
Yeah.
That's 100%. I think that's similar with us too.
Yeah.
We spend so much time doing like podcasts and YouTube videos and not even music stuff all the time that when we are doing music stuff, it's just like, yeah, we're like very good friends and we just do it.
We just go right
You know,
into it.
you know what I mean?
I realized that on stage thing, like when I was in practice, like our last rehearsal, usually like I'll warm up and all this stuff, like, oh my gosh, I have to sound right. And then it's like I didn't have time to warm up. And then we did the rehearsal and everything just came right out like normal, like I was on stage. And I was like, I've gotten better.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like,
I have been
whoa.
working on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have to put it away for a bit, come back, and be like, "Oh, okay, I'm still right where I left off. This feels good."
Yeah.
That happened with one person that night on Saturday too. They were worried because they're like, "We didn't really do our thing. We weren't practicing too much. We thought that this was going to be like like a little type gig thing." And they saw the crowd, and they're like, "Fuck, we're gonna have to like,
Oh, there's
play."
people here? I thought
Yeah.
it was a gig. It's like, this is a show. Yeah.
What do you think is the cutoff where it goes from gig to show? Is it 9 to 10? Is it 10 to 12?
I would say 50 people.
Okay, yeah. 49 people is a
49
gig.
people is a gig.
Once you hit 50, it's like, guys, we got to take it serious now.
Yeah.
Those other 49, like whatever.
Any band that has 49 people in a room is nervous as hell to see one more person walks in.
Like, oh God.
Oh, man.
You know what I think about a lot with that is you guys definitely know it too. When you play certain venues, there's sometimes like that gap between the stage where people could be hanging, but no one's hanging out, right?
Yeah.
If that space is gone, you're playing a show. If there's a front row, like I feel like you're playing a show.
That's the correct
You know what I
answer.
mean? Because like sometimes you play like a small show, you gotta call people up, like, come on, like we're having fun up here, But like when the people are packed up there, like you got a show on your hands for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Baby, you got a show going.
Baby, you got
Last
Still
time
some
we
meat
were
on
on
that
Bowery,
bone.
definitely a gig. Definitely.
Yo, it's funny you said that because I don't remember. I told somebody this on Saturday. I don't remember who it was.
Yeah.
But I was there. We were there before you guys went on, and I was like, why is there all this open space? Like, I don't know. It seems weird because everyone was like in the back by the bar. I'm like, this is where the music is, like up here, right?
Yeah.
And then I saw you guys were about to switch over. I went outside. I smoked a joint. I came back and I could not get back to the spot that I was at because everybody like moved to the front. I'm like,
I never advise against not smoking a joint either. So you did the right thing.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is a tough break.
I can't compare.
You did the right thing.
When
That's
we
what I
were
would've
at
done.
the last show, when they were playing at Cutting Room, the whole time I was like, man, I really should have brought a joint. Like I was like, not that I didn't enjoy it, but I'm like, if I did have a joint,
Yeah.
it would have been,
nice.
next level.
For those of y'all who come out to the show, there's normally a part where I toss a joint out to the crowd. So if you're a smoker,
He
Correct.
texted me right
wear
when you guys did
wear
it.
some weed apparel or something, because I'm looking for
Yeah.
who looks like they could.
I wasn't gonna say it, but now that it brought up, so we have a song called East Side Edibles, right?
Sure
Well,
do.
that's
And
right.
you threw out the joint on Saturday, and I literally texted Sifa while I'm still in the show, and I'm just like, "Yo, Justin just threw a pre-roll joint." I'm like, "We gotta throw edibles during." I'm like, we have to do it.
Yeah.
And so come to the show. Maybe you get some free edibles.
Yeah.
Who knows? It's worth the cost of admission.
Yeah.
I'd say so.
Yeah.
Good music, chance of a free weed lottery. I mean,
Yeah.
Who knows?
We also have buttons, but they're not as cool as
They hurt
as
people
joints.
when you throw them.
Yeah, when you throw your buttons.
Yeah.
Can you smoke them?
Can I smoke buttons?
Yeah.
I haven't tried, but we could figure it out.
Yeah. We'll give it a shot. Yeah.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah. So yeah, speaking of good time, right? So you guys are a good time band. You always want people to feel like they're having a good time. You give us like island vibes, California, Florida vibes. Where are you actually from?
All right, that's funny. Yeah.
born and raised,
Born and raised in New York.
I'm the outcast. I'm from Jersey.
All right. All right.
But all
It's always one of
Northeast,
we talked about this.
Yeah.
We're from New York.
Yeah, legit.
all Northeast.
that is really interesting because, like, well, you guys know I'm from Florida, and I bring some of my friends from Florida, and every time we see you, we're like, these guys are like everything that we listened to growing up in Florida.
Yeah.
And like, if I saw you guys like on just like whatever at a show, not in New York City, I would never have guessed this was a New York City band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's the market for this kind of music is not saturated out here. It's good music. It's a good genre. It's blowing up. The scene itself is really tight knit.
Mhm.
You know, we go to shows and smoke joints with the same strangers half the time. You know what I mean? Like, people that I don't know your name, but I know your face and I know you have a joint and I know you were at the last show. You know, so like that's kind of the scene. And we're just excited to be kind of becoming a part of it right now.
Yeah, I mean, and like you said, especially in this scene, it's not too common. You know, there's a couple that you could find, but yeah, that are playing our genre, there's really not too many where we're at. It's usually all those warm places right by the beach.
Right.
Yeah.
We heard up and grew up on it, though, at least initially, when we would go out to Montauk in the summers, although New York, it's still very beachy, stuff like that.
Yeah, Bonafide Beach Town.
Walk across the street to the beach. Yeah, exactly. So we grew up a lot of that. Our family was playing a lot of reggae music from 311, Bob Marley, all that stuff.
I think
so it was always around
the Bob Marley Greatest Hits one was like our
Yeah.
soundtrack every summer.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time I heard Bob, I was like, is this from the 90s, the 80s? Like, I couldn't tell where
I
it
had
was
the
coming
same
from.
reaction. I was like, this is timeless.
Like, is he still alive?
just gonna
When was this made?
Yeah.
It was the 90s or whatever. And I was, a kid, but I just couldn't tell. It's the first time I had to like look it up.
Yeah. Definitely felt like he was still alive when I first heard his music as a kid. Definitely.
Yeah. There was nothing aged about it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know. That's how it started.
Yeah, I wonder if people think that now.
Maybe.
That's just blew my mind. Like a kid that never heard of Bob Marley before and heard it, like, oh, what's this guy's story? Can I go see him in concert?
Yeah.
Sadly, young one, you cannot.
Yeah. Damn. That is really true though.
Yeah.
Like there is certain music that it's like they weren't. We were talking about that. Who were talking? Like we listened to a Kraftwerk song,
Yeah.
and it's like
Nice.
it's you could tell that it's old because they were using whatever was newest at the time.
Yeah.
But if you're using like tried and true, like an acoustic guitar, a drum kit, like that's never gonna be like, oh, like I'm never gonna listen to a guitar ever again.
Right.
So you can hear something from whatever 72 that's using all the same instruments. It doesn't necessarily sound like it's 40 years old.
Yeah.
You know?
And a lot of new records like are trying to sound older. Like some people will put like a vinyl pop or whatever like on the back of their like recordings and
They
stuff.
add it
Like
in.
yeah, like post production. Like
Yeah.
sometimes
What
the production
posers?
is
That's kind of corny.
yeah, I know. No, it's interesting because technology's come so far that like now people are using it to sound vintage. Vinyl's back. Like oh wow.
Yeah, guitars are starting to come back. They never died. All right.
That's
All
right.
Yeah.
Making sure people kept trying to say it, and I was like, shut up about it. Now they're like, I think it might really be back now. And it's like it was always here, all right?
Yeah.
You guys just neglected it.
Yeah.
But it was always great.
Yeah. I'm glad though. It's like when you push something so far to the crap extreme, it's like it has to bounce back to like something that's good, right? Like you just have to, because I think people are just going crazy with a lot of music that's out right now because it's a lot of just cranking out the corporate machine, the same thing. It's like Rosalia sounds just like Taylor Swift's music. Like it's just that she's in Spanish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, and Bad Bunny will do certain tones and stuff like that. And it sounds just like another rapper that's like from New York. And it's just like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's too much for the brain as far as too little or too much, however you want to see it.
Yeah.
Like, you
Yeah.
know?
I mean, once they find something that works, they're gonna beat it to shit. You know
That's
what I
true.
mean? Yeah, if it's
That's
making
all-
money,
yeah,
they'll
yeah.
beat it
Yeah.
to shit.
That's
you know?
always how it's been.
Yeah.
The tools being easier for everybody, everyone's beating it to shit.
Well, I mean, me and Brandon talk about it a lot too. I mean, I think like during lockdowns, a lot of people started taking things a little more seriously or leaning into their hobbies because we needed to. But after, when live shows are back, right? Like
Mhm.
who's making the jump to performing in front of folks, right? What happens after your clicks and your views on TikTok or something? Like who's coming out,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And-
Wow, you really just hit on something with us really hard because we started making so many YouTube videos during the pandemic that when like things started opening up, it took us a while to get like back.
Yeah.
And like now we're like really back into
Yeah,
it. And obviously it's like we're getting more momentum and things are happening, but it's like there was a while where it's like we're almost focusing too much on that.
yeah, it's tough.
And now the pendulum's kind of swung back, which I'm very happy about.
Me too.
But also, if you don't
Get into
just
it.
put regular content out, people's attention span are really short
Mhm.
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
of the way we consume stuff on social media.
You got to find a balance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dole it
You-
out.
you need both.
Sprinkle it out.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's never one or the other. You need a nice balance for sure.
Mhm.
But like, what beats a live show? Like it's
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
it's
That's
hard
fun.
to beat. It's just hard to
it's really
beat.
tough to beat.
We have
Yeah.
several friends too that either had stopped gigging or and they were kept sitting on the fence, and Justin had kept pushing them too, like, hey, just like play a show again. Trust me, like you're gonna keep giving yourself reasons to not do it, but that's like why you got into it, And so these people that are like super big social media presence play a show, and we're like, fuck yeah, this is what I was trying to do this whole time, and it's like it's easy to get wrapped up and forget that that's what you're passionate about, playing a show, playing your instrument. getting to sing and do that in front of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, hop out to an open mic. They're a blast.
Yeah.
Open mics are a lot of fun.
Yeah, dude.
The variety of things that you see is so
Oh my
great.
gosh.
Yeah, I always like the comedy more than anything.
Oh,
like
man.
other than music, I like the comedy.
Open mic comedy is something else.
Yeah.
The greatest thing is like when it's like there's like a certain vibe in the room, and then the comedian comes on with a completely different vibe.
Yeah.
I love it. I get off on that. Even if the jokes are great, I even think that's almost funnier. Just the situation around it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially when people are there that aren't like super into comedy,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you kind of like feel
Yeah.
just like, oh, what's going on? And I'm just in the corner like, this is great.
Yeah, it's awesome.
This is fucking awesome.
Oh man, yeah. I don't know. It's hard because I also don't want people. I like laugh extra hard at stuff sometimes when there's one open mic comic because the laughs don't come as often in open mics at all.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just especially poetry open mics because everybody's really sad when you get up there. And I think if you come out with that like self-deprecating humor right away, everyone's
Yeah.
like, yeah, and
Yeah.
you're not getting your laughs.
I forget sometimes with the open mic comedians because I'll like chuckle to myself and I'll be like, I'm like, oh wait, they need to hear
Yeah.
us laughing, so I feel bad about that. But
Do they though? Because if they don't, it just makes them stronger.
Or-
I'm serious. I'm not joking with that.
You hear a lot of those
I'm gonna go
comedians
right
talk
so
about they need to go to
laugh,
those
it
little like
only
comedy
makes
stores.
us
Yeah.
It either makes them stronger or they like jump off of a bridge.
Yeah.
So like I don't know if we're willing to chance it.
Just put up a bunch of nets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Trampolines.
Yeah.
And then
It's
there's an
character
open
building.
mic. Yeah.
Open mic now.
There's an open mic now. We got to get the bridge ready. Yeah.
Oh, he's doing comedy.
It's hard though. It's you know what I think it's super hard to convince somebody you're funny. You know what I mean? And when you're at an open mic, no one in there really knows you. No one knows who you are,
Yeah.
and you have to prove that you're funny. Like if you're like a super big comedian, you go out there, people know you're funny. People are gonna laugh. You know what I mean? But when you're just showing up at open mic, like you got to do some work. You got to be fucking funny as shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's really hard.
And
That's really hard.
like
Yeah.
coming from music, right? If we have a riff that I think is pretty cool, if Brandon's got like a loop we can throw it on Instagram or Reels or something. Like a comedian trying a joke on like you need to be in a room to test your material as a comedian. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's ways to do it in other crafts. Comedy, you have to go out there and if you suck, you have to suck in front of a lot of people before you're good. And
Yeah.
there's levels of that to music, right? Like I mess up every show we play.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
We know. No,
Honestly, I'm not very good at what I do. But that's just part of it. You know?
Yeah.
Mhm. Who would you guys go see live? Anybody?
Stand up or like
Music, stand up, yeah. Like,
Well, let's go.
I need to see Bruce Springsteen. I haven't seen him. I haven't seen him or Dave Matthews Band. I know there's like the
Yeah.
whitest answer.
I was actually looking up Dave the
And
other day.
Tony Bennett.
Dave. His real friends call him Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah. I understand.
Yeah, those are two shows. Those are just like staple shows. Like
Yeah.
these people put on shows that you have to see,
yeah.
and I haven't.
Yeah,
That's my
I
answer.
was thinking about it. Yeah, because now that we're on stage, like more and more and more, I'm just like I should go see some people before they die. Basically, like
The old ones.
Yeah.
No,
So
it's
like
true,
Billy
though.
Joel's gonna be at the Garden for the 5 millionth time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I gotta go see him.
Yeah.
Made sure to catch that one twice.
Yeah.
So now I don't feel so bad. He's still there, and I'm like, do I do it again?
Robert Plant.
Robert Plant's gonna be upstate New York this summer in
Interesting.
Bethel, New York. So
Okay.
I'm like,
Okay.
I'm not really a huge fan of his new music,
Yeah.
but I've seen him do some of the old songs
Yeah.
from like
Yeah.
Zeppelin days. So
I
was like, I gotta go see him.
That's great. Yeah.
music
Yeah.
still. Like,
yeah,
music
and he still
still-
sounds great too.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Damn.
And
one
he's
of
still got the hair.
right?
His hair crushes.
He's still got
His hair
going on.
completely crushes.
Yeah.
Remember when like we're looking at Jimmy Page and I'm like, why is his hair so white? And you're like, cause he's old. And I'm like, so
Yeah.
Robert Plant dyes his hair? And you're like, yeah. I'm like, oh.
That's what happens.
I bet his hair's so great he doesn't.
Yeah.
What a legend.
What about y'all?
Who would I want to
Billy
see?
Joel.
Yeah, Billy
Billy
Joel,
Joel,
Robert
Robert
Plant,
Plant.
so far. We wanted to see Metallica, but that was kind of expensive. We were
Oh,
like,
yeah,
last
it's
year,
like-
we were like, I don't
yeah.
know if we should go see that.
Where was the show?
It was in Central Park.
No, it
right?
hasn't. Oh, well,
It was. They
Well,
did something in Central
That's
Park.
Metallica
sick.
played with Mariah Carey.
Yes.
And we
Are
were
you-
like, that's awesome. But the tickets,
That's
we
amazing.
weren't trying. It was like $400 for the cheapest ticket or some shit.
It was out of control.
But we still were talking with Metallica. They're coming back this year. We were talking about going to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
but I didn't get a ticket yet.
Also,
It's still expensive.
Janet
Yeah,
Jackson's
yeah,
going to
of
be
course.
at the Garden soon, and I want to see Janet.
That's
Really?
solid.
I thought I
Just-
was
Mm.
Janet Jackson at one point. I was her. Like, no doubt about it.
You playing the Garden?
Yes.
Yo, let's go.
Yo, can
We
you
get
get a
free
discount on some of these tickets? Because
Yeah.
they're
I will. I
tough.
will. Just
All right.
plus ones only. Don't
Plus
try to
ones
bring
only?
a whole crew.
Totally fine. Yeah.
Oh, that's such a great combination.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah. I would see Janet, dude.
Yep.
Janet.
I would go to that concert. Yeah.
You, me, and my mom, let's do it.
Yeah.
better
Yeah,
move.
obviously.
She
dude.
better not just stand
Let me
there.
know.
I don't care. She better move.
Oh, 100%.
My favorite part, I think, of that when I went to see Billy Joel was him taking shots at Elton John. Because he would just sit in the chair, like, wiggling while he was playing.
Uh-huh.
And he'd be like, yeah, you don't see Elton doing this shit. He
said
doesn't-
that?
he was like, he just sits there.
I
So he
know
was just
him.
sitting there rocking on his chair, like, calling out
Wow.
Elton John. And I was
he
like,
did it. When I
this
saw
guy's
him
great.
on a separate night, he did the same thing.
Wow.
His piano was spinning. It spins on a platform. And he goes,
This is at MSG, I'm assuming.
MSG.
Yeah.
And he goes, I told Elton, you gotta spin that shit, man. How great. It's like Elton never spins his piano.
This is what I need. I need him to be full Billy Joel.
He's-
Like,
yeah,
not
he's
just
gonna
the
be.
music. I need, like,
And some
things
guests-
we're afraid of.
some
Like,
guests
You better
come
be
out, too.
salty as fuck
exactly.
about whatever's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
There's a
so
young
funny that he
clip
did
of
that.
him, right? Like
Yeah.
he's like swinging his mic stand at somebody, like kicks somebody off the stage.
oh, yeah, he still gets up with Mike Stay.
He's still a badass.
Yeah.
He's still a badass.
He's like,
for him.
stop lighting the stage. Just let me have my light, all right? And you're just like,
And he also does sometimes he picks songs based off of crowd applause.
really?
So if he'll be like, oh, should I do Vienna or should I do like Just the Way You Are? And I'm like, Vienna, do Vienna, fucking do Vienna. Come
That's
on, everybody.
And everyone's like, just the way you are.
No, because luckily Billy
Breaking
Joel's
shit.
like even his deep tracks we kind of know at this point, so it's not
Yeah.
like
That's true.
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
We've talked about this a lot. I actually did not give a fuck about Billy Joel until like 6 months ago.
oh yeah.
I thought he was so lame because I only knew like Uptown Girl. I'm like, that shit is so fucking
My
lame.
Life is a bad song.
Literally, I was at work and like there was a Billy Joel playlist on. And like I didn't even realize it was him. And like I'm just sitting there, I'm like, all of these songs are fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh wait, these are all Billy Joel? Okay, yeah, he's
So
probably.
you
I
finally
get
got
why.
on the
Yeah.
70s Joel.
Dude, because I remember.
Strictly
70s
80s
Joel.
Joel.
70s Joel.
Strictly 80s
Dude, I remember the first time in my life I ever went to MSG. I went to see Tame Impala.
Okay.
Solid.
And
Nice.
you know how he has his piano in front of MSG?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, Billy Joel, MSG, most sold out shows, Madison Square Garden. I remember seeing that. I'd be like, fuck that. Get this fucking piano out of here. This lame ass old dude. And then
What's
now,
that guy done?
now I think about it. I'm like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
I totally get it now.
I get it. Yeah. It's like you have to go through, like, I don't know, maybe like it's a 9-to-5 rigmarole or something like that. Like just a real, like, right? Because like that's who he sings to. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
like
yeah.
if you're hardworking through the week, like that's just who he is. And I feel like that's the connection more than anything. Like this sucks. Let me
You're
tell you,
right.
Billy
It
Joel
does
sucks.
suck. Yeah.
I'm sad. Me too, man. Me too.
If only Elton would be writing songs for the working men.
I know.
Fucking Elton.
And what's his writing partner?
Bernie.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bernie Taupin, yeah.
Toppin.
Yeah.
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 That was wild. Wild.
Shout out to Elton, I guess.
Shout out to Elton. Shout out to Billy.
I guess.
Yeah, we don't think you're that
whatever.
bad, Elton.
Yeah.
That's a concert I wish I could have seen because he's done now, right? And Elton,
Is
he
he?
said
He's on
Or
his
he's doing
last
a farewell tour,
Oh.
but it's been going for like 7
He's like
years.
keeping it rolling. He's like, wow,
Yeah.
people showing up.
That's the move though.
Yeah, it's that full of Jordan. Right?
Yeah.
Full of
He's been
Jay-Z,
saying
full of
goodbye.
Jordan.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because he just
I'm
did
back.
that song with Dua Lipa, the Cold Heart, like he remixed it.
The remix,
And
yeah,
it's
yeah.
on the beat. That's
Yeah.
a jam to me.
Yeah.
I'm
That is a
not-
jam. That is a
Right?
jam.
I'm not sick of it at all.
That's a good question though. What concert do you wish you could have seen that we were born too late for or whatever? Like, because we were talking about before, who do you want to see now? It's
Yeah.
like if you could have seen anyone, like
Yeah.
one
In the
band
history.
or artist or whatever. And you don't have to all answer now. I'm just thinking about it. I might say I might say Zeppelin.
Yeah, I would definitely
Zepplin's
say
a good
Zeppelin because
one.
you're saying band.
Not necessarily band. I don't know.
Just artist,
Hendrix?
anybody?
I don't
Yeah.
know. Like,
Yeah,
It would
like
tie
that's
with
solid,
Marvin
yeah.
Gaye.
Man,
it would
being-
be Zeppelin
being
and
at
Marvin
Marvin
Gaye.
Stock
Like,
would be
Yeah,
great.
I love
definitely.
Marvin so
Yeah.
much.
My
Me
brother
too.
sent me a video the other day of a Metallica concert in Soviet era Russia, and there was like,
Damn.
400,000 people.
Yeah, have you seen
I've
this?
seen it. I've seen it.
and
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
a
yeah.
Wikipedia page like people are like trampled to death and there's like helicopters going over it. I don't know if I want to
So
go.
that one? Why?
He wants to gamble with
I
his
think
life.
I want to go.
What's the problem? I don't know.
Seems hard.
I know what you're talking. That was like right when Russia became like opening up, right? They were like, it was like the first rock concert in Russia in like whatever, maybe ever, and it was like literally like 500,000 people there.
They were excited.
It's crazy. Yeah, that footage is insane.
Wild.
Yeah.
That's so much.
Like, hey, you want to be the first band to play Russia?
Oh, no.
Knowing that, James would be like, yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say that. You know.
This is great. Good impression.
Bars going.
I
Or
think,
just like, well, the thing about it is, you know, I don't know. I can't do a Lars impression.
He's a
fucking
tough one.
Lars.
He's a tough one.
You ever buy his
Is that what he
drumsticks?
does? Is that what he
That's
does?
Lars,
Yeah.
Lars has like signature drumsticks and they're metal. Like it's not wood. It's like some kind of like
Have you ever used
carbon
them?
fiber.
That's pretty
like,
sick.
They're black. Yeah, I had a pair, but then I was breaking all my cymbals.
Oh.
So that's why they don't do it.
Yeah, the Lars
Wouldn't
cymbals,
recommend,
too.
but
Yeah.
they're kind of sick though if you don't.
They
like
probably
cymbals.
look sick.
Yeah.
They probably look awesome.
They do
right?
look
Yeah,
awesome. Yeah, and
I
they
don't
have
doubt
like
it.
really good bounce to them because they're so heavy.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's the perfect thing for Metallica, right? It's got to be metal.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you can't have no fucking wooden drumstick. You're Metallica.
The whole kick
What are
drum's
you, a
metal,
poser?
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just playing steel drums.
Just
yeah.
He's playing a xylophone.
Yeah.
The steel drum remix to
Yeah.
Enter Sandman.
I want to
Yeah.
hear that now in my mind.
Yeah.
I want to hear the steel drums.
Like Enter Sandman intro, but it's just steel drums. Yeah. That's a whole different song. Yeah.
I can't even. I wanted to do it of
Yeah.
impression. I can't.
Yeah. I gotta go home. I gotta go do that.
Yeah.
I gotta figure that out.
Vinny's got to leave right.
Yeah. I gotta go.
You got to add a steel drum to the kit. Only for Metallica covers.
Yeah, we do reggae rock and Metallica. That's like it's a niche
There's no in
market.
between.
It's a niche market, but we think it's gonna hit. So
Yeah, most of our fans leave right in the middle of the show.
yeah,
And a whole slew of new ones coming.
yeah. We don't know why. We can't figure it out.
Yeah.
You know what band's actually like that though? What's the I'm a rebel just for kicks, girl. That song.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I don't know
I
who it
can
is,
Portugal,
but I know
Portugal the Man. Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw them and they come out and they just start with the heaviest song I ever heard, like huge breakdown. Could have been a Metallica cover. I don't know. And then they had like these like on the monitors, they had like these like babies that were like splitting in half and like all this crazy stuff. And they're like a really interesting band. Like the front man is up front, obviously, and he's the bass player, but the actual singer is all the way in the back of the stage, facing sideways like this with his hood up. They're from Alaska.
I was going to say,
The one
where
guy-
are these people from?
Yeah.
The moon.
They sound like they're from
Crazy.
close to wherever Bjork is from.
I was going to say, it sounds like somebody who made like
Sure.
IKEA.
Yeah,
or Dyson
somewhere
vacuums
cold.
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
nuts, dude.
So they just do that, and then they're like, "All right, I guess we'll play it," and they play
And they played the song.
the song.
Well,
You know
thank
who
you.
in my mind is like such a great example of like the no in between like really heavy and just like really chill is Bad Brains.
Yeah.
They are like, to me, like I've watched old Bad Brains concerts and it's almost like interval training. Like literally they'll do the fastest punk song and then just slow it down to a rage groove and then the fastest thing and then they'll go from the chilling to like jumping off the stage. It's literally like up and down, up and down, up and down. Like it makes my heart race just watching the CBGB video from 1982 or whatever. You know
Actually,
what I mean?
awesome that you bring that up because that like Bad Brains basically turned into what like this whole Cali reggae scene is. Like
100%.
they started it. You know what I mean? Like even Slightly Stupid had their punk songs to start.
Mhm.
Sublime was basically punk. Early on. So like No Doubt was punk and ska reggae.
Mhm.
That all came from Bad Brains. When I first started listening to Slightly Stupid, I'd buy an album and I could listen to half of it. And the other half, I was like, oh man, this is totally killer mellow. Why would they put this 1 minute, 40 second scream song right after like Walking on the Moon? And I'm like, oh, this is so nice.
You know, it's something that we should do one time, not at this podcast if we don't have time, but we should, because usually when we do the podcast, we do like a history of like an artist.
Yeah.
We could definitely do like the history of reggae rock,
Yeah, I think we
Oh,
should.
which I feel like starts with Bad Brains and the Clash,
Yeah.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Like I feel like it all branches out from that.
yeah.
You know,
I think you're absolutely right. A lot of people don't know that Clash have some reggae rock songs.
Dum, dum,
Washington
dum,
Bullets.
dum, boom, boom.
You can count me as one of those people. I just found that out right here,
Yeah.
live.
You never heard Guns of Brixton?
Literally, I had no idea.
Yeah.
You should listen to the song Guns of Brixton,
Okay.
like literally right after this. You'll be
All right,
like,
yeah.
this is the
Yeah.
Way
Clash.
home, dude. Like, that's what I'll do.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you're gonna love that song.
Yeah,
That's sweet. Okay,
I was
cool.
listening to it like 3 days ago. Like,
Yeah?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
It has one of the best bass lines I've ever heard.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
I
Just-
gotta learn it. I gotta learn it.
I'm just saying.
You'll catch that on Instagram Reels
Yeah.
tomorrow. He's gonna be sitting there just talking about it.
We definitely should do a follow up though, for sure. I'd love to dive into that.
Yeah, that would be a good
be
time.
cool.
But yeah, no, it's funny. I feel like people don't know that about the Clash because they put out so much in such a short amount of time. Like they put out a double album, they put out a triple album. It's like you might just know like Rock the Casbah, and you don't know like the deep cuts.
Yeah.
So people don't even know. And they did like funk type shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
they did a lot of different things, but they did so much for punk that like people just are like that's one of the greatest punk bands ever, which is true.
yeah.
But also like it just glosses over some of the other stuff they did.
Yeah, I still listen to them for Train in Vain. I don't even listen to
Good
all the
song.
punk stuff.
It's a good song.
Say you stand.
Yeah, that's pop.
That's not
Everything.
what they're known for.
Yeah.
The Police
Yeah, we
are
should do that.
another good sneaky reggae band.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Good
yeah,
call.
yeah.
Good
Regata de Blanc.
Regata de
Regata
Blanc.
de Blanc.
Yeah.
A lot of really cool rhythms in those songs.
Yeah.
Well, Stuart Copeland is an amazing drummer.
That
He's
guy's
one of the
insane.
best for sure.
Absolutely.
You know you're good when you make a song and then a reggae artist remakes your song. Like Alien in New York, they had like Jamaican in New York, like that. Shinehead
yeah,
made that.
yeah.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, yeah.
Well, isn't Shaggy and Sting doing like an album together?
They did a whole thing.
That is 100% true.
It was
Yeah.
pretty good. I got the album.
Because it makes sense. You know,
Yeah.
Shaggy's really crossover, but he's still down to earth enough because he's like from Flatbush.
Yeah,
and he's
yeah.
still cool. Like,
Yeah.
you know, so,
I didn't know that.
yeah. I
It's
think
like
he went to Erasmus too. Like he actually went to school there and
Oh,
everything.
shit.
Yeah.
That's sick.
the first time I heard of Honey Mustard, I was like, these two don't go together at all, but I have to try it. I was like, Sting and Shaq. Okay.
Yeah.
I have to try it.
Collab of the century right
He was the
there.
person to think of Honey Mustard, though. That was pretty funny.
Definitely some high motherfucker. Like I got the mustard, I got the honey. Like, what if I? There's no other way that could happen.
Situation where you have both of those, wouldn't you just do the mustard?
Yeah.
You're like, the honey doesn't go with this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just gonna have the mustard.
Like I can't
My
decide.
hot dog or fucking.
Yeah.
It's a chicken fingers. What am I gonna do with all this honey? It's nothing. You're gonna put it in your shelf.
Yeah, I'll have a McDouble. Can I get extra ketchup and a lot of honey?
A lot of honey. It's a mustard.
Oh, you don't have honey? Then just mustard.
May I ask you two a question?
Yeah.
No.
Because we were just okay.
That's not how this works.
That's not how it
Yeah.
works. Yeah.
Well, we are performing a show together. I want people to be
This is
excited
true.
about it, and
This
I
is
think
true.
for us, we're always thinking. You know, when he was talking about the hoodie guy facing sideways, like I wouldn't add that to my show. I don't think
won't?
it's.
I'll
I don't
do it.
think it's an
I'm gonna do
award-winning
it.
strategy.
I'm gonna do it.
And I'm sure Portugal the Man has won awards, and I haven't. So maybe it is an award-winning strategy. But what are you two thinking of adding to sort of your stage show, your sound? Is there anything that you're thinking of pushing and adding to your show or your performances?
Huh.
Well, I mean, okay. So
Yeah,
first of all, we should say this is the show on May 6th is our first theater show. So
the Triad
we're
Theater.
very excited for that,
Yeah.
and it's also going to be the first show where we have a live drummer.
Yes.
So, so I
Alright.
think that answers the question.
You would ask
Hell yeah.
Garrett, but he's busy.
Yeah, because we use backing tracks for everything, and all the shows we've done before, which is cool, and it, it gets the job
works,
done.
it works.
But like when you get into like, and I was thinking this, and I told Sifa this when we saw you at the cutting room. I was like looking at this. I'm like, this is a way bigger venue. I'm like, I couldn't imagine doing this venue with just backing tracks.
I got you.
It just doesn't fill
Yeah.
out the same.
Yeah.
So
and-
like we initially were like, if we are playing on this theater, we got to get a drummer. We were saying that before we even knew we were gonna play the Triad.
yeah.
Like that has been in our minds.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely does a ton. Especially if the place does their job too, they mic everything up nicely, stuff like that. the drums really make a difference. You feel that in your body when someone's hitting like the kick and stuff like
Yeah.
that. You know,
Yeah, you just feel it differently physically.
Yeah.
100%.
I'm looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to
Me
a
too.
bigger stage because I like to run around and like
Yeah.
move and like jump and stuff like that. So it's
Yeah.
like I'm looking forward to a bigger stage.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Triad's a good stage too. I always love the tables and right in the front. There's that empty space Vinny was talking about before.
Uh-huh.
There's people built in that you can interact with right up front. You don't have to ask anybody
Super
to come
fun.
up.
It's a show.
It's a show.
It's a show. Yeah, that's
Half the
That's
time
a
I'll
that's a
leave
show
my,
and a half,
I'll leave my
guys.
drink
That's gonna
on
be a
the
show and a
on the
half.
table right up front because I don't want to kick it over. I know I'm not stepping on the table, so I'm like, can I just leave this here? Don't work with me, unless you really want to.
sounds cool. We're excited.
Yeah,
us
for
too.
sure.
It's good. Us too is gonna be.
It's gonna be really great.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We should talk about this offline, but we should totally come out during each other's sets.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
Yeah.
were talking about that a little bit yesterday.
yeah.
We probably should talk about that offline because we don't want to give it away.
No, I don't want to give it away.
Yeah,
I don't want to give it
yeah,
away.
you guys will just have to come and
You'll
find
just have to
it.
come.
Yeah.
Just gotta
Just gotta come.
We're
May
performing
6th,
"It Wasn't Me" by Shaggy.
We're gonna have Stig come out as the guest.
Yeah, Billy Joel might be there. You should come and see. I'm not lying.
Yeah, he might. Yeah, there's a
There's always a possibility.
non-0% chance.
There's a non-0% chance
Yeah.
Billy Joel was there. So
He's just down the block.
Give myself by after a show,
yeah. I will say one of my favorite Regular People memories is where my bass burnt out right before our Triad show.
Mhm.
I wanted to change the batteries because I wanted to be a responsible musician, and doing that just shorted the active bass. So we were checking and nothing was coming out of my bass except for like the faint smell of like gasoline,
Oh my
smoke, and
God.
Yeah, you
fear.
came in the back.
It
My
smells
favorite.
infectious.
It
Like it
smells-
smells like
yeah,
this
yeah.
is bad. Yeah,
Not-
this is
but
gonna harm
negatively
me.
infect-
Yeah, it's gonna harm me.
Yeah,
this is gonna
infectious in a
hurt.
bad way.
Yeah.
Not infectious laughter.
No,
Not infectious laughter, like
Wow,
infectious,
sounds
like-
super negative, but
chlamydia is infectious.
I think
Yeah,
lots of things are
exactly.
infectious.
yeah.
I don't know why I went there,
Yeah,
but we're here.
Well, you're right.
It
It's
works.
true.
But it
That
works.
must be like
infectious.
the worst feeling ever. It must be like one of the worst things you've ever experienced. So
Yeah.
an STD could probably go right up there with it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Your bass had an
You're like,
STD.
would I rather-
what would
your
you
bass
want
had
in
one.
life?
That's what
I
it
would rather
was.
my bass burn out.
I'm like
than
broken bass, gonorrhea. I don't know. It's
So
pretty bad.
because this story has a happy ending, I will go with broken bass.
You know what else has a happy end? Sorry.
If it didn't have a happy ending, I'd probably go with chlamydia. Very treatable.
Pretty treatable.
I know from a friend. I don't know how we got here. Anyway, basically, my bass burnt out, and my mom couldn't make it that night. She gave her tickets away to two of her friends, and she was saying that they are in a band, and they live 2 blocks away. This was like my Slumdog Millionaire moment, where like everything I'd heard in the last week came to me at once, and I was like, "Mama, who the fuck is this person? Can you where are they? I need a bass. I need one badly. And this is the only way I could see this coming through." So we texted them. I went outside and walked with them 2 blocks to their apartment, and they gave me this like short scale bass that the woman uses when she plays. And I played the whole show on a bass that wasn't mine, that was short scale. And then rest in peace to the other bass. They couldn't fix it.
Oh, damn.
That's annoying.
That's okay.
Yeah.
It was a good show.
I mean, it could have been worse. It could have been a stand-up bass, and that's all she had.
Oh yeah. I mean, I would still. I would be like, all right.
She pulls on with this
I'm just like,
fucking cello.
You wanted a
Just-
bass, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
stir it up. This doesn't work at all.
That was the same time that we lost our voice, right?
No, that wasn't. No.
That's my favorite
The Triad show after that. We like to go to karaoke after our practices.
Is this the one that I went with you guys to karaoke afterwards? Because I went to one where they tried to make you end your set early. Do you know what I'm talking
Oh,
about?
I know that one.
Oh,
No, that
yeah.
was one that we went to though. But no. I do
Yeah.
remember them. They sent the set
Yeah,
early
I
and
do
we rallied.
same
vaguely remember
one.
that one.
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now it was like we practiced the day before a show, which we don't love to do.
Yeah.
And we went to karaoke, which we do love to do.
Yeah.
Typically, me and Vinny will go and we'll
Yeah.
spend like 6 hours there just drinking bottles of soju.
Yeah.
and making friends. Again,
lots of
shout
them.
out Karaoke Boho.
Yeah. Again, that's two. Isn't that two karaoke boho shout?
Karaoke Boho shout outs.
Sponsors.
Garrett likes to come through too, but it's a long trek uptown after what is a lot of alcohol. Both of them know that when you come to karaoke, it spirals.
We're
out.
a little better about it. They always after practice like, what do we do? The karaoke's around the corner, and I'm like, I'll see you at home.
Brandon's like, I will see you at home tomorrow, my dude. I'm like, come on, we're gonna do well this time.
Yeah.
And he wakes up somewhere else, and who knows?
Yeah.
But basically, we were like, yeah, it's fine. We're singing 3 songs, 4 songs. We're singing 5 songs. It's cool. We're not exerting our voices in the way. Yeah. Make sure he turns to me while we're singing. He's like, see? Make sure you're taking a good breath so you're not exhausting. And then we wake up the next morning and we're like, holy fuck, we sang so many songs. Our voices are shot.
I woke up, I just like quietly walked out to go get like Gatorade, and I was just texting Justin. I was like, dude, we're in trouble. I just said that. I was like, I don't even know what's going to happen in a couple hours. All I know is if I had to do it right now, I couldn't.
The air was so heavy in our home that day because me and him were both like, did we just fuck up so bad because we wanted to karaoke? Like, we're trying to take this serious as a band. You can't want to karaoke more than you want a show. Like, but I did.
We're like, did it sound cool though?
We were like, all right, we have to. I called.
I got a Garrett phone call. It sounded just like that.
Jump in, G, jump in.
Garrett. I was like, oh no. I wasn't there. He's like, we went to Boho. We messed up.
We were singing "Holy" by Justin Bieber, and that is a song that he's really got to sing for. And he was like, we gotta scrap it.
I think we just gotta scrap it.
I was like, no,
we can't do it.
Just give it time. So I call him panicked. Do you remember what I said? Just I'm like, we may have to scrap Holy. I don't know, man. I was like, we're gonna make it there. We're gonna do the show, but like, if there's a song in our higher register, maybe we'll swap it out. Luckily we have like a pretty good list of covers, but we were talking about swapping it out. And he was like, yeah, man, it's gonna be cool.
Fine.
It's
the
fine.
way you set it up, you're like, we made a big mistake. I was like, oh no. Like, it's like somebody's pregnant. Or
Vinny's pregnant. And he can't play tonight.
Yeah, I just can't.
Yeah, I was quiet in my room, and I stopped speaking. I didn't open my mouth until showtime, and I was just like sucking on lemons. My girlfriend was like, choir. She's my choir teacher said that this is good. So I was just sitting in my room chewing lemons. And if you asked, I would just nod or shake my head or like show you notes. I was like, if whatever's going to happen that'll work, I'll do it. I don't care at this point.
Yeah.
And it came together like just before showtime, like just enough where it was like cool rasp. So like the playback.
That's what I'm saying.
You hear like almost happening, but like it came back just enough. I was like, fucking.
I heard that's how Axl Rose gets his voice like that. He just does
Karaoke.
karaoke every day before a show, and that's how he gets.
Yeah.
That's the move. That's what I've heard. Rumor has it.
Obviously, I felt like garbage because there's no way he would be a karaoke boho without me. It's just not his scene. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Me and Vinny's scene.
Yeah, for sure.
Is that what
we close that
is it
place
M
down.
Shadows of Avenged Sevenfold? Well, he doesn't do karaoke boho. He like smoked a ton.
Yeah.
To like give himself the
he
voice.
did that, right? He just smoked a shit.
Yeah, I think it was like intentionally.
Oh, he literally did that on purpose. I'm going to smoke just to make my voice like that.
He was smoking, but also intentionally
like that,
to give some of the rasp.
Cat Power does that. She drinks a lot of alcohol so that she can get her voice to sound like that.
Oh yeah, that's why I do it too.
Yeah,
that's why I drink all the alcohol I drink.
That
was for my voice.
That works. When I wake up after drinking, my voice is like 2 octaves deeper. You know, like I'm talking like this. You know, I'm like, oh shit. But I'm not, you know, like, all right, cool. I can be super sexy when I'm hungover.
Yeah. You went out drinking last night.
Yeah. Cool. How'd you tell?
It's so funny you guys brought that up because I was going to ask you, what do you do before a show? When you started with the bass story, I was like, what do you not do and what do you do before shows? Like, what do you know?
Let's go down the line. Let's go down the line of our
because I don't like to do anything new. Like, I won't buy something new the day of a show. Hell no. Like, to wear, whatever. Yeah. And then, like, if at the venue, I don't like to think bad or talk bad about the people. Like, I used to choreograph dance and stuff, and I used to tell my dancers, don't make fun of anybody. Don't like, don't do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, those are my things. But like, let's go down the line.
Those are good. Those
good
are
call.
Good.
Yeah.
Good vibes only.
Yeah. All right. Who's going? You going first?
Let's start with Garrett.
Go for it, Garrett.
15-minute run. And then that just like gets me feeling good.
And then, do you do that in the morning or do you do that like closer to? Does it matter? Do you have a specific time?
Like afternoon,
Okay.
like not too close. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
And
that's
then
a testament to him always saying that the drummer has to be athletic all the time, like he did,
Yeah.
because it takes like a lot.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, what else?
Big meal. Chirping chicken. You ever been there?
No, I've never been
I was
there.
gonna say, what
Try
do
it.
you eat?
And that's basically it. And a little warm up backstage. Get the forearms warm. So,
Nice.
what about you?
I wake up and I slam a Bud Light Lime. No, I'm kidding. So basically, it's changed. You know, the first show, I remember not wanting to relax too much because I didn't want to be like chill or zoned out or stoned for the show. You know, I wanted to have the energy up, but also like it's important to relax the day of a show. You know, so it's important to have a routine. Mine is video games. I like to play some video games at least an hour or two. I want to do something for me in that day, and that's the thing I do. That's just unapologetically for me. Normally, me and Brandon will run through the set once together or separate. Depends on the day and how everybody's feeling. We normally get a sandwich from the same deli. Got to have something
Shout
in
out
your
Mr.
stomach.
Deli.
Oh,
Mr. Dillon.
But like, you got to soak up the alcohol. We also always will take a shot together before we leave the house and do a toast. Every show, we have a pre-show toast. Vary up who does it. If there's someone else there that's drinking with us before, we do one shot before we leave the house.
But yeah, we do like a good spirit toast.
Just or two, but no more than that.
Just 5.
Or two.
Just 5.
Oh, so it's like one.
It's like one.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
one.
Just one triple shot.
Muscle man. So that's most of the routine, I think.
Yeah, I think started out similar. You know, I was just like cool, calm, just like trying to stay calm, but not trying to relax too much because I was like, I got something I got to do. But over time, that's kind of changed as we got into the stuff. So now I just I'm very superstitious. Like I believe in luck and that I have bad luck. So I prepare.
Yeah, he's a downer.
I prepare for it, not in the way that's like, well, everything's going to suck. It's like, all right, let me just take some precautions to make sure. So it doesn't matter how new my guitar strings are. I replace them before a show. So that morning
The same day.
the morning I clip them. I'll run through the set. I like warm up. I clip them. And then I go through the set again to like get them into their place. Because,
Right.
you know, when you first string them,
Yeah.
they're all over the place. So I'll do that. And then I sit there, I like polish the guitar. I started to do it because it was always a sore point for me. I was always like, oh, my guitar string broke. I guess I can't play for a month until I go to Sam Ash and get them to fix it.
Yeah.
And so since
we
then, I
wasted a
made
lot
sure to
of time,
take
man.
pride in the fact that like, okay, this is my thing. I should know how to do it. So I polish up my guitar and then I restring it and practice on it. And then I'm just like, cool, I feel good. At that point, I've ran through the set twice. I'm warmed up. Everything's cool. I'm comfortable. I know that's not going to break on me. Fingers crossed. And then, we just do our little pre-show ritual shot. Sometimes it's like hoping for good outcome, but sometimes it's simply just acknowledging how cool all of this is, that like what's happening is happening. I don't plan on changing. It's a pretty tight tradition that I do. I'll be doing it on May 6th.
I think the Jameson loosens up the vocal cords a little bit, personally.
Yeah. They write that on the bottle.
Do they?
Yeah.
Loosens your fucking vocal cords.
Yeah.
Drink to shite.
What about you?
I don't know if this is a good or bad answer, but I really don't have one.
There's a great answer. Good answer.
So you're gonna show me? Yeah. No.
Don't have one.
So realistically, I like to. I think that if I feel like I have to do something, I'm making it out to be a bigger deal than it needs to be. And a lot of times, don't get me wrong. A lot of times, I usually probably get to you guys before the show and we hang out for a bit. I wouldn't say it has to happen. I don't know if it's happened every time.
More often
Has
than
it?
not,
More
you're
often than
present
not,
for
I
the
come hang
pre-show
out.
shot toast.
Yeah. So if anything, I take part in the shot, but I'm also drinking. For the most part. But the one thing that I won't do before a show for sure is smoke. Like I like smoking, but even when I do certain things, I just don't like smoking before it because I just feel like I may not be as like I have this idea in my head because I've done it a lot where I'll smoke and I won't be like nervous or anything, but I'll be sitting there and I'm like, I forgot how to do that. And I'll just stand there. So I'm like, so I'll just be, I just have this image of me like if I smoke too much before I go on stage, we're gonna pull up. I'm like, oh, this song's up. I'm just gonna look at them and be like, yeah, I got nothing, guys. Yeah, like, good luck.
Yeah, that's true.
So I just kind of like, it could be anything. I'll just wake up. I'll just kind of chill for the day, and whenever shit's ready to rock, I gotta get up there and do my thing.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm kind of like that.
Yeah.
The only thing is that I will not drink or smoke anything that entire day. Before, as soon as I get off, and all bets are off. But right before, I won't do it. Yeah. And like, it's funny. You were talking about being relaxed, but like not too relaxed.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like the more anxious I am before the show, the better I do.
Yeah.
I just feel like the more anxious I am right before, then the more energy I have to put out during the show.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Also, I think maybe it's because at first I remember like, am I anxious? And I was like, no, I'm not anxious. I just know I have something important to do later. I don't want to fuck it up. Yeah. So it didn't feel like anxiety, like what could go wrong, what this is. It's just like, there was just something different about the day. You know what I mean? And like when I have that feeling too, yeah, it's gonna be a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's easy because I feel like we've fallen into that trap before where like we've had our practice before a set and it's been like, man, we're gonna fucking crush. This is so good. And then we go and we play and we all get off like, this is a good set. Not our best. We've done little things and it's like, oh, we were way too comfortable with how the outcome was gonna be. And so like we get a little lax and then that shows up on stage and you're like, okay, let's just be a little more serious next time. Even if you knock it out the park, let's just still have that mindset of like, it's showtime type thing.
Ooh, I have a fun game to play. Do you two want to take a guess on which two of us have been actively drunk during a performance?
You two.
Him for sure.
We've seen it.
Oh wait, I only say that because when I saw you at Cutting Room, like we were chilling before, and I literally saw you drink like 5 drinks before, and I was like getting nervous for you because, like I said, I'll that's the one thing is I'll never drink or smoke anything, and I was like, we're chilling, and I'm like, we're having a good time, but like you got a show, I don't have a fucking show. You know what I mean?
So I was like turning down some, but that was the same thing. I was like, I've been good. I turned down. I still had like 4. I'm like, all right.
It's difficult.
All right.
Yeah.
You get there, you're having a good time. There's about 4 hours before you go on.
Yeah.
Everyone is excited and wants to buy you a drink.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like to get there early, but I don't like to get there too early. Because then it's like, I feel like it's like I want to say
Save your
hi
energy.
and talk to people, but I don't want to get into a long conversation, like, and all that stuff like that. And then I don't want to feel like standoffish, but I just don't like to be there like way too early. Not like 5 minutes early, like I showed up for our last show. I need to be there like 20, 30 minutes early.
Yeah.
Like 2 hours, 3. No. I won't get there that early.
Yeah.
Especially at some place like at the Cut. That was my biggest fear more than the drinks, which is probably why I let the count get lost, was because it's like, yeah, there's bands playing and there's people there and it's loud. And so I'm with friends before I go on. I'm like, yeah, well, I got this.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm repeating myself, and I'm like, I'm gonna blow my phone.
Just
talking to people.
Just talking to people with that volume is enough to like strain your voice.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You've been drunk on stage, no?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you guys look pretty shiny.
I was like, you brought up the game. I was like, I'm gonna answer.
So I mean, I was a little closer towards drunk at my Cutting Room show.
Question. I feel like,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think these two the most. Like you had your Bowery show,
At my Bowery show.
and you had your rooftop.
I had Rooftop was the worst, but Bowery was bad. That same Bowery show I was definitely too drunk because
I went sober one show.
Yeah,
I was going through some stuff, and I was like, you know what? It's probably a good idea to prove I can do this shit without any substances anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And
I did, and they had a bunch of Liquid Death at Bowery, which is great. It was fine. It was just like it normally is, just less fun. That's all it was.
Okay.
It was okay.
Yeah.
But I guess like the balance was off because they both consumed like more because I
like
wasn't
offset
consuming.
that Justin was like not just sober, but like also going through some shit on stage.
That is a really important thing though, because it's like I feel like wherever you're at as the group, you should be in a similar kind of vibe, right? So it's like I feel like it's like if you all have a drink or two, that's great. But if like 2 of you are a little more drunk than the other people that are completely sober, then you're not going to be synced up as much. You know what I mean? It just is like, because music as a band, like you doing it together, you're connected. Right. So if one of you
2 beer swing,
and it could be it could be weed too. Like if one or 2 of you guys is high and the other 2 aren't high, your connection or whatever it is, the spiritual thing that music is, it's just gonna be different. You know.
Ours is like we didn't even verbalize that. It was just like, we just know, like, I don't know, for some reason we just don't drink or smoke before the show. Right. I feel like chill Sifa is not like on stage Sifa in a way. And it's like, not that I can't handle drinking or smoking. Like one thing I won't smoke and drive a car. I can drink one glass of wine and drive a car, but I won't drive drunk. I won't smoke drunk. I won't smoke and drive.
I'll smoke drunk.
Yeah,
any day of the week.
smoking drunk is pretty good.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
pretty
yeah,
good. Yeah,
100%.
But yeah, on stage, it's like I feel like I'm gonna be thinking about what if I mess up because I'm on this. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the only
Yeah.
reason why. I'm just
That's why I only do Molly on stage. Because then you don't care if you mess up. Everything's just great. Yeah.
At least I think with like smoking, like, will I smoke that day if it's really, really early? Sure. Like if I wake up and it's like 9 a.m. and showtime's 8 o'clock, I'll be like, all right, I'll have a wake and bake. Just chill out. But yeah, close to show, and once I'm at the venue, people, I won't do it. Where it's just like, one, vocals, but two, like, the same way. If I'm high, there could be a song I've sung a million times. I'll blank out on that. I'll blank
Wait,
out.
just what?
Yeah.
It just happens.
Get a
You know
little
what I mean?
spacey.
It just happens. Doesn't happen to everybody. Like I get some people like are totally can do everything they can do sober, high. But me, I just know I'm gonna forget some shit.
I also
Without
could
a
lose
doubt.
myself, I think, in a groove. Like, because
Yeah.
especially some of those reggae grooves,
shit.
they're like so steady, and then there's like one change the whole track.
Yeah.
And you're high, just fucking- and then it happens, and you're just like, ah.
How many times what we're practicing is like a verse of mine comes up and I'm just stoned and everyone just looks
We're
at
just
me
playing.
and
We
they're
look like yeah.
I'm like, fuck.
I do that sober. I did that on our last show. One of our, I completely forgot like eight lines that I was supposed to say, and I was just like go doing some guitar shit. And then I looked at the footage later. I was like, did I just not say anything this entire time? I literally didn't even realize until after. In Sucker Ways, the whole second half of my verse, I just didn't do it.
That's a good idea. Yeah, it's experimental.
Like, yeah, this was how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
They don't know.
No.
Yeah.
As long as you act like you were supposed to do it,
Oh,
nobody
yeah.
in the audience knows.
So here's an
Yeah.
anecdote that I like to talk about because there was one when I was working with Garrett. We were near Bryant Park, and it's Winter Village comes up, and there are ice skates there. And I bought ice skates. I want to learn how to skate. And the first thing they teach you in skating is you're going to fall. You have to learn how to fall to prevent the most damage to you. And I took that, and I just like have used that in so many different areas of my life. On stage being one of them. You're gonna fuck up. You are absolutely going to. Billy Joel probably still messes up sometimes. You know what I mean? Shout out to Billy. He might be there on the 6th.
What if he's listening?
You know who doesn't mess up ever though?
Downstairs.
Elton.
That's true. Elton John has never messed up.
Yeah, because his piano doesn't spin around. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's focused.
Long story short, there are ways to fall
Yeah.
with grace.
True.
Gotta fall gracefully.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you just didn't do the your part and you're just standing there not playing, be having a different
That would be a
conversation.
little weird. Yeah. And then I'm just looking at Sifa like, what?
You go. It's your
And she's
zero.
like, what? I'm like, oh shit. Yeah. And then I grab the mic like, I'm sorry.
When somebody else messes up on stage, I don't even have time to pay attention to it. Like, I'll notice it, but it's like, I feel like things like that are contagious. So it's like, let me just let that person mess up. It'll be fine. Everything will work out fine, but I don't want to think about it too much because then I'm going to mess up. Like, you know what I mean? I swear it's contagious.
Sure.
Like, what
You start focusing on the wrong things, right?
Yeah,
Well,
we just roll with it. Just like when I practice guitar, when we were like practicing recording or playing, like every time I messed up, I would want to start over again. And he's always like, just keep going. Like, you know, so that's how I feel like on stage. Like you mess up.
Yeah.
Keep rolling.
That was a big thing for a big learning curve for me with guitar was, to mess up, but also like keep playing, because always my intention would be to correct the note I fucked up. But if you do that, everyone's ahead of you now. And so it's like, just keep going with it. But also like, it's cool at the same time, because likewise I tried to do it, but I would still acknowledge the fuck up. And that's also just as bad, where I'm like, oh, I did it. You've already spent way too much time on it.
Yeah.
I love my
We're
on
moving,
stage
you know?
fuck.
Yeah.
we like to make each other mess up and call it out when we do sometimes.
Yeah.
If it's a royal fuck up, it's fun to boo the person.
We got to get tomatoes, dude.
But it's
We have
true.
to.
You're always one fret away from a correct note. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very common thing. You're always one, just slide half step up or half
So-
step down. You're back on the right thing again.
You know,
So
or just
you
a
can
slight bend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
bend.
There's tricks. It's magic.
Yeah.
You know?
That's the Jimmy
yeah.
style right there.
Yeah, the
There's so
bend.
many times you can see in like videos of Hendrix where like he starts at the wrong note, but then he just instantly is like, oh, that's where it should be. You know what I mean? You can see it too. And I didn't used to see that for years until I got better at guitar. I'm like, oh.
You also
I get it
find
there.
out those performances when he wasn't like in tune, you know?
Yeah.
You can start to listen and be like, oh, okay, I hear it here. He's just sort of rocking with it as is. I
He's
hear
going
it.
for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Own it.
Hell
makes
yeah.
you feel more calm as an artist. right?
100%.
You don't like stress yourself out as much. If the
Yeah.
crates mess up.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
We all fuck out.
We all fuck up.
People fuck up. It's all good.
But
I don't.
except for
Sifa and Elton.
the only two.
Yeah,
That's it.
But yeah, this has been such a great time. I'm so glad that we were all able to make it here and do this. I can't
Likewise.
wait for the show.
Yeah.
Once again, May 6th,
Yeah.
Triad Theater,
It will sell
Upper
out.
West Side. It will sell out.
will.
Get your tickets now.
Yep.
Sight After Dark, Regular People. It's gonna be a
Yeah.
blast.
There you go. Any parting words for the people?
This was awesome. Come to the show. Seriously, you're going to have a blast. Check out all of our music. And just thanks for supporting all of us. Much appreciated. And thanks to you guys, seriously, for having us. This has been awesome.
This is
Having a
great.
blast. Yeah.
You couldn't have said it better myself. Follow us at regular_people. That's our Instagram.
You wanna spell it for
can REGGAELAR, like Reggaelar_people, PEOPLE.
Nice.
Stay tuned for
Thanks.
Almost messed
the
up,
summer EP.
I almost messed up people, yeah.
All right.
And that's how you do it.
Thank you guys so
Yeah,
much for having
thanks
us.
a lot, guys.
Thanks, guys.
We appreciate you.
I give